What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS video. Today we'll be reviewing episode 103 entitled A Journey to the End. Now, on my previous video, I talked a little bit about the beginning of this when I did my Season 2 review, because I feel like the beginning of the episode before the intro had some stuff to do with Season 2 still. But I tried my best not to talk too much about what happens after the intro, because I wanted to save that for this video. So, majority of this episode is a recap episode. I'm glad the Season 2 didn't do as many recaps. I think they did like one in the middle of it, if I remember correctly, and then the Season 1 had way too many. But anyways, so we got our new intro, showed off some new characters. Well, actually, really only two new characters. Obviously, it showed... If you're watching this review, I'll assume you watched the episode. So the human versions are the humanoid VRAINS versions of I and Robapi. Were obviously shown they're shown in the intro and they're shown at the end of the episode. I don't know how to feel right now. We're gonna get into my thoughts as to what could possibly be going on with that in a little bit, but intro was really cool. We got to see some cool... It's good to see Go Onizuka back. He doesn't look skinny anymore. He's still wearing his Season 2 outfit. I wish he would go back to his Season 1 outfit, but at least he's looking like his normal self again. You know, he's smiling when he's dueling in the intro, so that is a good sign. Plus, you see him in a shot with the rest of the crew, so that does imply that he will probably be fighting alongside Playmaker again, just like in Season 1. Obviously, all the other characters are back. You know, we've got, obviously, Playmaker. We got Kusanagi, Soulburner, Revolver, Spectre, Blue, we got Aoi, or Blue Maiden as she's now called, Blood Shepherd, Ghost Girl. So, everyone's back. Now, here's the interesting thing with this. The intro, I would say, this intro has me confused, but I wouldn't say it's like I don't want to say it's a bad intro, but I would say it's probably the weakest of the three we've had in terms of like just music and visuals, because they're really not trying to show too much. I feel like this intro was made in a way so that they wouldn't give too much away, because all we really see is obviously Playmaker and his friends. We see I and Robapi, and we see some robots and other stuff that'll obviously be important moving forward. But it really doesn't tell us too much about what's really going to go on. So let's forget about the intro for a minute. Obviously, most of this episode takes place at the hot dog van. I guess Kusanagi is with Jin in the hospital. Hopefully nothing happens to Jin this season. Just leave Jin out of it, or let him duel. I'd be fine with him dueling, but don't let him be another captive or something, because that would really annoy me if it happens again. That poor kid. So Yusaku is working the hot dog stand. And obviously, you know, before the intro happened, it was obviously just Playmaker and I were in the plaza, like how our last episode ended. And it basically just shows everyone coming back to life because Bowman let them come back. But obviously the AIs don't come back. And apparently there was a time skip here. I don't know how long. I don't know if it was said in the episode, because I watched it at like 7 o'clock in the morning and then I passed out right after. So I'm not sure if it was said how much time has gone by. But safe to assume that a decent amount of time has gone by, because Takeru, aka Soulburner, is talking about, even though it's been a while, I still miss Flame. So I'm assuming it's at least been a couple months. But yeah, so it's basically... he's working there, and then what's really cool, and I was really hoping this would be the reveal, like just start Season 3 with the reveal, but Aoi comes to the hot dog thing because she was visiting... Oh, that's another thing. When all the people got revived, Miyu, you know, Aoi's friend, who was in the hospital all this time, has awoken. Aoi shows up at the hot dog van, basically tells Yusaku that she was at the hospital, and this is like the only or best food place nearby, so she came over here to get food. Blah, blah, blah. She walks away. That's when Soulburner walks up and is like, imagine how she'd react if she knew our true identities. And then Yusaku which is kind of annoying because it's like, if it doesn't matter now, why does it matter if she knows your secret identity? But Yusaku is like, there's no reason for her to know now. It's like, at this point, you guys are friends. I mean, you should honestly. She's gonna find out this season based on the intro. Well, I wouldn't say based on the intro. It's just my gut feeling because there is a shot in the intro of Aoi and Yusaku sitting on a bench together. So I assume that scene is going to be saved for when he has to tell her. I'm sure there's going to be something going on. Maybe the fact that Ai and Robopi are the new villains, maybe they can't as freely talk in VRAINS, so it's easier for them to talk in the real world. Maybe something like that. But most of this is just Yusaku and Takeru, basically recalling everything that happened in the last season. And then once they're done doing that stuff, that's when Revolver and Spectre show up. And Revolver is basically saying, I'm still gonna go after there's only one Ignis left, and I'm still gonna take him out. And if you get in my way, Playmaker, then I'll have to deal with you too, blah, blah, blah. So all that character, I want to say all the character development, because he may just be putting on a front. I mean, deep down, he may still trust Ai, but he still has to do his job, essentially. So obviously they're back to being kind of not allies again. But we'll see how long that lasts. Obviously, they're going to have to team up again with this new threat that goes on. But after that, that's pretty much close to the end of the episode, and I'm trying to think if I missed anything moving up to that point. So pretty much the end of the episode is we see what looks like the destroyed Cyberse world, and we see two figures standing in front of 5 gravestones. The 5 gravestones all have a symbol on them that represent the 5 Ignises. So, earth, lightning, wind, dark, and water. Yeah, I had that right. I had to think for a second to make sure I got all those right. So, what's interesting about so here's my issue with this is, and I'm sure they'll do a flashback to when I left and stuff, but it's like, we saw them before the intro started. I was with Yusaku. And then after the intro, we had a time skip, and I was no longer with Yusaku. So there was this period of time where we don't even know when I actually left. But there was also a part I know what I forgot previously in the episode. Takeru was asking about Ai, if he's come back yet. And Yusaku was like, no, Ai and Robopi, they're both gone. They're not anywhere to be seen. And that's pretty much the whole thing with this, is we see two people standing in front of these gravestones, and we see a tall male with kind of spiky hair, but he has earrings that look like eyes, like AI form. And then you see this small-looking child who has this thing around its neck that looks like Robopi. So it's obviously Ai and Robopi. I mean, you can put 2 and 2 together. They've been missing all this time, and yet these 2 new characters that look like human versions of them just showed up out of nowhere. And if you look at the intro, they're obviously going to be the antagonists, but the big question is why. So that's it for the review portion. Now we're going to kind of talk about what all of this could mean. So the most obvious explanation is, well, before the explanation, I have no idea how they got human forms. It could just be human in the sake of in VRAINS. I don't think they can go into the real world with these because that wouldn't make sense. But we do see that Soul Corporation is building these new, machines. So maybe there's, a real-life, body that they have. But, obviously, we don't have enough information on that yet. But I'd say the most simple explanation as to why Ai and Robopi would do... Well, Robopi is just going to follow Ai, because the whole thing was that Ai said... He promised he would make Robopi smart. That was the big thing there. But I think Ai's motivation, if he truly has gone dark, I would say the big thing is he probably thinks there's some way that he can revive the other AIs, his family, and this is the only way to do it. And even if that means going against humans and becoming a villain, See, here's the thing with that is, I thought they had some good closure with Season 2, with Ai kind of accepting that they were gone, and that he just had to continue living the life for them. but I guess that was too much for Ai. And it's really weird to kind of think of Ai as a villain, because he's always kind of the silly, like, stupid AI that was always with Yusaku. So how can he have some kind of, like, big master plan by himself? That just doesn't seem realistic to me. So I do think there's someone else pulling the strings. I mean, there's always that other case of maybe I and Robopi went searching for the AIs, but then they got captured by, like, a new threat and got forced into these bodies, and then they got their, like, minds wiped or whatever. So these new people, this new Ai and Robopi, may not even be the Ai and Robopi with the memories that they had when they were Ai and Robopi. So this could just be one of those like misdirects where Ai isn't actually evil, he's just being manipulated. But they already did that with Bowman, where they constantly wiped his memory, so I don't know if they would rehash the kind of same idea. So that's my initial thing, is that Ai just wants to bring back the other AIs. I guess another thing could be, well, I was going to say it could be something with Soul Corporation, but you even see in the preview for next week's episode, Ai and Robopi, they go to Queen. And I guess essentially, well, they have to have real world bodies, because how could he visit Queen in the real world? But I guess he's going to duel Queen for something. I don't know, maybe it'll be whatever leftover data they have on Earth. That would be the most likely scenario to me. And what really gave away that this was Ai is that we got a scan in the last V-Jump where it basically stated that Ai was going to visit Queen. And then in the preview, we see a humanoid-looking Ai going to visit Queen. So that pretty much solidifies that this is Ai and Robopi. But other than that, yeah, next week's episode is obviously going to be Ai versus Queen, it looks like. I still think it's probably going to be for Earth's data. He's probably just trying to collect anything he can for a chance to revive them. But obviously them getting human forms is deeper than just hoping that they can do something. So we'll just have to wait and see what kind of happens. But let me know what you guys saw this episode down below. Obviously, like I said, it was mainly just a recap episode. But it does open a lot of doors to other things. So I'll just be excited to see what kind of happens. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.